So, you want to make a Splatoon model for VRChat, but you don't know where to start. I'm here to help out with that. And it's quite easy. First of all, where do you find the models to work with? Easiest answer to that will be Models Resource, which is a free resource online that people upload models to, and you can easily find the Splatoon, Inkling, and Octoling models here. Just select what species you want, download the zip file, and then extract the zip. So what do you do after you've done that? How do we make this VRChat ready? So let's delete everything we've got here. We don't need the cube, we don't need the camera or anything. We just import our FBX or whatever you've got. So you're gonna notice that if you've got an Inkling, you've got player 00 and player 01. Player 00 will be your feminine Inkling. Player 01 will be your masculine Inkling. And for Octolings, player 02 will be your feminine Octoling, and player 03 will be your masculine Octoling. You're gonna notice it's really tiny. Whatever you do, do not scale this up, because we want things just to work. We don't want to have to scale up the clothes or scale up the eyebrows. We can just do that. We can leave that until we're in Unity. So what do we got now that we've got this? I'm going to redirect you to a previous video I've made where you can learn how to set up Visemes for your Inkling or Octoling. It's the same for both of them, and it's a very easy tutorial to follow for if you're very new to this. So I'm gonna sort this all out, and I'll be back later on to show you how to attach the eyebrows and the hair and the clothing. Alright, so once we're done with that, we've got all our Visemes. E, O, U, and just some ones for consonants like or f, and ch or s. So we've got a bald, naked Inkling, or Octoling. How do we fix that? So we want to import FBX, and you're going to try and look for which hairstyle or which eyebrows you want. We'll start with the eyebrows since they're a lot simpler to do. And I'm gonna go with these eyebrows. So you're gonna see that they're on the bottom like this. Do not move them. We're going to use what's called an object constraint so that it just moves to the head itself pitch perfectly. We don't have to estimate or whatever. So what you want to do, click on the armature for the eyebrows, add object constraint, and then copy location. You're gonna notice that there's one right there. That is where our head would go. So we're gonna select armature, the one that's on the top, then bone, head. And look, it's on the head. So we're going to hit apply on this. It's not just a constraint anymore, that is just where it's placed. And we're going to use cats. So let's double check that we've got the right bone names. We want them to be the same. Exactly. So it's called head, but this one's called head root. We don't want that. We want to rename that to just head. And we don't need to rename any of the other ones because we've already got that here. So let's close everything up just so it's a bit more organized. Don't confuse yourself. Cats. Custom model creation. Merge all bones. And I tend to just uncheck this because that can... Fuck this. It can screw things up a bit. So let's just make sure we've got merge all bones together. And what that means is that if you've got two bones that are named the same, they just become one bone. So let's merge armature. And you're gonna notice that we've only got one armature. And if we go to pose mode, we move things about. The eyebrows follow along with it, which is good. So now that we've got our eyebrows done, how do we get the hair on? So we can import our hair, find whatever hair you'd like, And I think I'm gonna go with this hair. So, we do something similar than what we did for the eyebrows, right? We use the object constraint so that it's on the head. So, click on your hair armature, click in here, add object constraint, copy a location, and make sure it's our top armature, then bone, head. Now while we are doing something similar to the eyebrows, we sort of want to make sure that there is one bone that separates the head from the hair, which can make it easier to add fizz bones later on. So let's go to the armature, and instead of this one being named head root, we're going to name this one hair. Now make sure that the head and the hair are separate. Now instead of merge all bones, you can undo that. And where it says attach to, we want to look for our head. So there we go, head. Now once you merge armatures, gonna lag a little bit, it's fine. We look at all the bones in our inkling. We'll see underneath head, we'll have hair. So there's two separate things. Now for the big part. How do we add clothes? Clothes is the most complicated part. And it can get more complicated if you're trying to use clothes from Splatoon 2. So first, let's not wear these pants, alright? Let's go and find some shorts to wear. Or a skirt. You can be like that if you want. So if we go to our Inkling folder, you're going to see one called BTM. And that stands for bottom. I'm gonna get some shorts, okay? Now, same process before, click on the armature for this, but instead of attaching it to the head, we want to attach it to the hips. Copy location, target, this will be called waist. Now, one big issue you see here. Why are the legs going through it? It doesn't look like that in Splatoon. The truth is, that is how it is in Splatoon, but they use transparency to just make sure that you don't see it. They just hide that part of the legs. If you're aiming for quest compatibility, you can delete part of your body. So let's go do that now. Let's go to edit mode. And just find what faces, you can select faces here. Just do this. Make sure I'm not selecting too much. That goes over. There we go. Now we can hit delete. Now everything here is named accordingly. You do not need to fill up with that like we have had to in the previous things. All we need to do is merge all bones and just select merge armatures. Now when we go to pose mode, we can go and just bend our knees, bend our legs, and it should all be fine. You can twist your spine, and there'll be no issues really. I have the Splatfest t-shirt for Splatoon 3, so I'm gonna just put that in. Gonna fix up the material. And again, click on the armature for it, little yellow man. Object constraint, copy location, and we want to attach this to skeleton root. So let's look for skeleton root, and it will just be there already. Now again, we can use cats. This has all the same name bones, so we also don't need to fiddle with that. Just make sure merge all bones is selected, and merge armature. And again, we can just double check that this works. All good here. All good here. Everything seems fine. Now, for shoes! Shoes are a little bit more complicated. Why are they complicated? Because they only come in one direction. So, I'm gonna teach you how to mirror the shoes and make sure nothing weird goes on shader-wise. So, I'm gonna find yourself some shoes. So, I've got the slipjack work boots, and here we go. So, like everything we've done, object constraint, except this one starts at ankle assist. So we select our armature, and then type in ankle assist L. Now we have the location for that one. However, we select everything and hit Ctrl C, then right click and paste data blocks. You can delete this one, that's not needed. Now we've got the other shoe. So let's make sure the target is our body armature. And the bone, instead of ankle assist L, it's going to be ankle assist R. But, oof. Why are they going in one direction? Why you got two left shoes? Let's go fix that. How do you do that? Really easy. Click on the mesh, hold Control, click M on your keyboard, you can click anything on the screen. You're going to see this thing called mirror. So, this is how you mirror objects. So we click on X for the X-axis, and you're going to see it looks a lot better. It looks like it's a pair of shoes, not just two the same. However, because that used to be the left shoe, now we need to rename everything to be for the right. So, double click. Anything that says L, change it to R. Ankle assist R. Ankle R. Toe R. And again, using cats, because they've got the same names as things on the body, you can just attach them as so. So, merge all bones, merge armature, merge armature. And then we test out. They should follow the feet as so, without any issue, no clipping, no nothing. One small thing I forgot to mention earlier is that when you do mirror your foot, it will become transparent like this in Unity. And what that can usually fix if you're using Poyomi, if you are using standard shader, or if you're trying to make things quest compatible, it will fuck up. So, select your mirrored shoe, go to edit mode, mesh, and where it says normals down here, just click flip. And then you'll notice that when I do this, nothing happens, it's all good. Now, here's what to do if you want to use Splatoon 2 clothes with Splatoon 3. It can get a little bit complicated, that's fine. Let's just take this slowly and hopefully you'll get the hang of it. Now, for Splatoon 2 stuff, sadly they aren't scaled correctly, so you will have to eyeball it. If we first use the object constraint, it will be a lot easier for us to be able to scale this correctly. So, even though it's big, let's go to armature, copy location, target, armature, bone, skeleton root. So now when we scale this, once we get close enough, we'll know when it looks right. So it does seem like there will be a little bit of clipping, but that's nothing that can be helped because this is Splatoon 2 stuff. So you're going to notice that I've put a list here, so whatever's on the left is going to be what your current stuff is going to be named from Splatoon 2, and you're going to want to rename that to whatever's on the right. Whatever says L/R, it just change that. It can be L or R depending on what you're working on. And yeah, I know it's a long, lengthy process, but you have to get it done if you want Splatoon 2 stuff to work with your current avatar. Now your vertex group should be automatically renamed as well. So now let's just go back to cats, merge all bones, and hopefully if we test things out, it should be working all fine. No clipping whatsoever. So that's how you add Splatoon 2 clothing to Splatoon 3 models, since they are a little bit different. Now, if you want to add eye bones, I suggest looking at this video by L Hun to learn how to add that, because my method isn't very conventional. Probably better if you added like balls instead of using this and moving the bones about and hoping that it works. So I'll leave that for someone else to pick up my place, because I'm not the best when it comes to that. Now, you think you're done, you think you've got everything here, but truth be told, VRChat's gonna give you a bloody stroke if you've got all these different meshes over here. So, how do we fix that? How do we fix that exactly? Okay, so once you've got all these things here, we can do a bit better. We can merge some things together. So, we can merge the body and all this. If we hit Control J, that joins things together. So it's best if you merge it all into one, but if you are looking into being able to swap things or adding clothing later on, you can leave them separate. So let's see, let's get the eyebrows onto the skin. We can also add the eyes to the body. Let's merge the shoes together, just so they're all together, and let's do that. Now you're probably wondering why have I hidden the eyelids? How I do eyelids is I make blend shapes for blinking, but not in the way that you'd expect. Because Splatoon characters don't really... They have a blink animation, but that's done by textures. So, in actuality, when an Inkling blinks, it's like that, right? So for later on, when I'm in Unity, I'll make a shape key called no blink. So I can unhide these, go to edit mode, you'll see it's already selected, and just push them back a little bit. So you'll see, once you exit back out, you're brought here, no blink. Once the value's at 1, you can make it blink. Now after you've made the blend shape, you can just merge that to the body again. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, why the fuck is the hair black and red? I don't want that. I want my hair to be blue. I want my hair to be all colors of the fucking rainbow. You don't need to worry about that in Blender. It's strictly for Unity. Other side note, if you do want to add like facial expressions for later on, you can do similar to what we did for the Visines in the Visine video. So you just select your bones. For example, I'm gonna make me do the rock face. Do something like Vine Boom. You don't have to take this seriously, but this is just additional facial expressions if you're interested in it. Editor cog here. I didn't think I could forget about this, but apparently I forgot to explain how to add like headgear and all that. So let's get that out of the way. Once you've got everything done, right, let's import a headgear. It can be glasses, it can be hats, whatever. Doesn't matter, anything. So I'm gonna add these glasses. Oh, these are really big. It's like that when you rip from the game. So, like before, click on armature, add an object constraint, copy location. Seen this? Seen this shit? Target, armature, bone, head. And then, like we did, just scale things down until it looks right. So like we did before, just go to cats, custom model creation. So let's turn off merge all bones, and let's rename our glasses to, instead of root, let's name it to glasses, so we can keep a track of it. The reason we're doing this is, like I had explained before, we want to keep things separate in case you want to mess with the bones or whatever, add a fizz bone, you know, sometimes flip your glasses or have your hat dangle, who knows. So this is just to make sure it's separate. So merge all bones, off. Attach to, head. Merge. Boom. Now, this is very typical if you have like straight ripped from the game. You'll notice that if I try and join these things, right, it can look a little bit awful when I try and join things. Why the lens is black all of a sudden? That's because of a thing called UV maps. Now with UV maps, you see here, UV channel 1, UV channel 1, you want them to be named the same. So I'm gonna copy UV channel 1, you'll see it here, 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 here. Just gonna rename that to UV channel 1. Same goes for here. And then when I join them, they'll keep their textures in place. However, if you want to merge this to like your outfit thing, but you want to be able to toggle your glasses on and off when you're in game, similar to how we did the blinking stuff, right? We're going to go to this little tab here. We're going to make a shape key. I'm going to call this one glasses. And we go to edit mode. Hit A to select all. I'm going to make this really tiny. Just put this inside of my skull. And we can move it back a bit just in case anything goes wrong. So then, if we do this, we can toggle on and off. So I can now join it, and we can remove and put them on as much as we like. So that's how you add and remove bits and pieces of clothing. It usually works best in headgear or small objects that don't really involve the entirety of your body. So that's how you make your Splatoon 3 model for VRChat. I hope this has been helpful. I want to help people out because I have been seeing people struggle and I don't quite have the words to explain all of this, and it can be a bit tedious if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So just follow these steps, hope for the best. If you need any more help, I'm sure there's some help out there. I got most of these methods from the Models Resource forums, which has been very helpful for me. And I'm sure they'll be very helpful for everyone else as well. So, with that being said, I'll make a part 2 of how to do things in Unity. And yeah, I'll go see you later. Goodbye.